I will never tell someone to live every day like it's their last day, because if I did that and then I practiced what I preached, I would be living every day in fear. Like, imagine knowing it's your last day. What the F would you do? Like, people, oh, what would you do if you had 20 minutes to live? I'd have a 20-minute long panic attack and then I'd die. What the fuck? Oh my God, don't even say stuff like that. Like, what do you mean? Live every day like it's your last. I live my day as if it was my last. Every single day, I'm worrying that there's something wrong with me. And then one day, I will die. Oh my God, keep it light. And I'm speaking about this on a Sunday. No. But where's this come from? Okay. We all know that I'm a hypochondriac, and if you don't know, hi, now you know. I'm a hypochondriac. I have really bad health anxiety. I don't know where it stemmed from, because it's actually quite funny, because I used to like try and kill myself like every 2 days. Every 2 days. I was just taking another trip to A&E. It got to a point where one of the guys in there was like, hello again, and I was thinking, don't murk me. Don't murk me. Because yes, I'm here all the time, but I am depressed. I'm capital D depressed. Like, oh my God, that was a crazy time, okay? And the way I used to go into that waiting room in A&E, and I'd be like, wow, it's so busy in here today. As if it was like a fish and chip shop on an off day. It's A&E, babe. It's always going to be a little bit busy. And I was like, why do I have to wait so long? Bruh. Anyway, and then obviously like the code reds would come in, and I was never a code red. I don't know how. Like, obviously I was like a code something. I was probably like on the rainbow system. I would probably be like a red, orange, yellow, maybe like a yellow or a green, because I was always waiting for quite a while. But like, I get it because they're so busy. But there was one time that I actually almost died because my heart rate was so fast, and they were just leaving me there. And oh my God, it was literally like my life is a movie, a horror film, a psychological horror thriller film, that while you're watching it you're like, where is the escape? And then just imagine that's my real life. Okay, just imagine that for 1 second. I was in a wheelchair. Ah! No, I wasn't in a wheelchair yet, okay? I'm sat next to my mum. I said to my mum, Mum, I think I'm about to die. She went, no, you're not. I said, okay. And then I was like, my heart's beating really fast. I need to be sick, because I'd taken some tablets and I'd been, like, it made my heart really, because basically for a while, this is a fun story. I have not got bipolar to the best of my knowledge. But the people I was under at CAMS, I think they were so desperate to get rid of me. They were like, you know what? You're not bipolar, but we're going to put you on bipolar medication. That doctor, she is my op. She was a B-arch. She was such a bitch. She tried to blame my mum for the reason that I would try and like end my own life. I was like, girl, do not come for Mama So Stitches, because one thing about Mama So Stitches, Mama hates bitches. Like, you are not going to win, because she will win the I don't give a fuck war. So she was like, okay, just take quetiapine, which is basically a mood stabilizer for people with bipolar. And so I was taking my quetiapine, and my mum would leave it out each night for me. And then I forgot to take it a few nights, so I would just put it in my room, never with ill intent. But then this was when I was in a really bad relationship, and he called me up, and I was like, hey, are you coming down to see me? And he was like, hey, I've just been arrested. And I thought, oh my God, I literally can't do this anymore. Like, there's literally no way that this is like happening to me. Like, I am 18 years old. I should be focusing on you, Cass, but I'm focusing on your dumb ass. Like, what the hell was I doing? So I'm like, my heart rate is at like 215, which I don't, Alexa, what's a standard heart rate?
According to the Mayo Clinic, a normal resting heart rate for adults ranges from 60 to 100 beats a minute.
Okay, so Alexa's just told me it's 60 to 100 beats a minute. So imagine 215. I'm very close to having what I would describe as, and Demi Lovato would as well, a heart attack. Okay, I'm very close. I'm on the edge. I'm teetering a bit, which is crazy, because I feel like that was the closest I've ever come to death, and yet I'm still so petrified of it. Lol. Anyway, so I'm saying to my mum, I need to be sick. She's like, no. I'm trying to make myself sick. My mum comes into the toilet and she's like, stop. Like, you can stop trying to make yourself sick. And so I come out of the toilet and I see a nurse walking past me. And this, like, my life is a movie. I put my hand out and I go, help me. And I fall on the floor. And then what makes it even worse, I wake up right next to the door, like the entrance, in a wheelchair. Next to me, one of the teaching assistants from my primary school, and she's not seen me since I was, like 13? So 5 years has passed, because I'm 18 at this point, and I'm thinking, what the fuck? And imagine being my mum in that situation, having to explain why I'm there. Anyway, that night as well, I had say anything itis. Like, it was so bad. We went into like the little triage room. Is that what it's called? When you first like get seen so they can work out what's wrong with you. And my mum was telling the doctor what happened. And this doctor, he was a legger. Like, Doctor Who, Dr. Leg. He was gorgeous. And I think he was like Eastern European. I can't remember exactly where he was from. But I remember saying to my mum, I was like, oh my God, he's so good looking. And she was like, girl, he can hit you. And I was like, do you think being this mentally unstable is a turn off? Because like I could find my future husband here, even though I don't even think we ever defined what the relationship was, me and my absolutely monster, colossal, awful arsehole of an ex-boyfriend. But then he called me a few months after we'd like broken up, and by that I stopped talking to him because I literally was about to die. And he was like, I'm trying to talk to my ex here. And I was like, oh, so I was your girlfriend and you did just opt to treat me that badly. Like, it's good to know. Thank you very much. But anyway, so where was I going with this? Oh, I almost had a heart attack, which is like, oh my God, like what the hell was I doing? Like, I literally, and this was like a random like Tuesday night, and every single time I would try to do such a extreme action towards myself, I would really crave a Nando's after. I'd be laying in a hospital bed. I was like, okay, so peri chicken, yay or nay? Like, let's get a feeler out. What's everyone thinking? That night as well, I remember the next morning I had college, and guess what? Didn't have to go in. Yeah. And my mum told me, she was like, do you remember like what happened in the hallway, like the corridor last night? And I was like, hell nah. Like, I was in and out, because I was literally in and out of sleep burger, because I was in the corridor because there was no rooms available. No room at the inn, and I'm not even Jesus. So that's how you know it's fucked. They were like at capacity. So I was just on like a trolley, like a gurney, in the middle of the fucking corridor, opposite the toilet. Yes. That is where pretty privilege gets you, everyone. I had no makeup on. So if I had makeup on, maybe they would have put me somewhere nicer. But anyway, so I'm in this hole, and my mum is stood at the end of the bed. And this fucking doctor gets me up, and she's like, Maisie, we just want to hear about what happened tonight. Like, what led to this? And I was like, okay. Now, I can't talk. I literally, like, I had no control over my body. I had no control over my mind, my mouth, literally nothing. I had one direction, no control, because I was so sleepy, because they have a sedative in them. Like, that is, like, the main takeaway here, right? That these pills had, like, the first time I ever took one, I fell over in the shower because I took it just before I had a shower instead of right before I went to bed. So they knocked you out for 6, whatever the fuck that means. But I was stood, and my mum said to her, she was like, look, girl, like, no disrespect, this is not like verbatim, like, she didn't say exactly this. I can't actually remember what she said, funnily enough, because I was off my rocker. I was off my fucking tits, which we'll get to that in a minute. But she was stood there, and she was like, she can't talk. Like, look at her. Like, she is like, I'm in goo goo gaga state. Like, I'm in flow state of being a baby, because I could not speak. And I said to him, her, they, I don't know. I think she identified as a woman. Anyway, the point is, she said to me, she was like, what happened tonight? And I was like, this is how fucking cooked it was. I went, my boyfriend cancelled plans on me. And she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, he got arrested. And she was like, oh, and I literally think she was like, you did this over a man. And I was like, oh my God, have you ever heard of domestic abuse? Abuse? Like, what do you mean? She didn't say, like, I think she was just shocked, because at this point as well, I hadn't admitted to anyone the like horrors that were going on between me and him. Like, oh my God, when I tell you I didn't sleep for like 7 days, I didn't eat. And when I was with him, I couldn't eat, because every single time I woke up next to him, I threw up. And I was like, oh my God, it's butterflies. Oh my God, you guys, he's giving me butterflies. He is not giving me butterflies. He has given me like a health condition. Like, he's given me extreme anxiety. And I had acute PTSD after. But there was nothing cute about it. I couldn't drive on the M25, which maybe that was like low-key the highlight of our relationship, because he scared me away from the M25. And I hate the M25. So thank you for that. Thank you. But where was I going with this? Yeah, my mum was just like, go, she can't say anything. And in the end, she kind of was like, damn, you really, like, it's like trying to get blood from a stone or blood from a rock. I was trying to get blood from something that doesn't have blood, basically. Like, I was like, girl, I've been bled dry. I literally have no control over anything I'm saying or doing. So I get back in my gurney. I'm like half asleep. They're monitoring my heart. I think they took some blood as well because they were like, what did you take? I was like, quetiapine. And they were like, oh. I was like, yeah. Like, this is like, I had intention. But what's sad is like, I think in that time of my life, I just really wanted someone to listen to me. And like, I used to be such a hater. Like, people were like, anyone that does it is for attention. Yes, obviously. Like, I would hate on people that said that because I was like, do you know how awful like your own mind has to be for you to do something that extreme? Like, it's actually terrible. It's like, oh my god, I can't even tell you how bad it used to be for me. Like, it actually, now that I look back, I'm surprised that I was ever that depressed because like, I don't know how I carried it, and I was literally 18. I was a baby, and it makes me really sad to think about it, if anything, because I'm like, damn, you were carrying that all on your own. And like, everyone at my college said to me that I was like hollow. I remember, I've said this before, but my friend Abby, she said to me, she was like, you're like an Easter egg. Like, there's so much outside, but there's nothing inside. She was like, you just seem so. Did she say that or did I say it? But basically, she told me that I seemed like completely like not myself, which I wasn't, because I was literally being abused. And like, it was just terrible. But the next morning, me and my mum were going for a Costa. God bless her. She was like, let me get this girl a panini because she's been through it. And my poor mum, like, I actually feel so much guilt around that time in my life, but now's not the time, okay? So we're driving to Costa and she's like, do you remember what happened last night? And I was like, remember? No. And she was like, oh, about the guy in the hallway. And I was like, no, please do tell. So she tells me, in the hallway there was a man stood there, and she was like, okay, my mum, it was an immersive story, it was actually like goosebumps. I'm even thinking about it, I'm getting goosebumps. She was like, there was a man in the hallway. Sorry, I have to touch wood quickly, I have stuff wrong with me, can you tell? And she was like, it was like he was like half and half, like Hovis bread. She was like, one half of him was like one person and one half of him was like another person. She was like, because he was like, he looked like this biker, but he kind of also looked like a cowboy. And one half of him was like fully covered in tattoos, and the other arm there was like nothing. She was like, he was kind of like a bit off-putting because he was just watching me sleep. And she was like, girl, like, who are you here with? And so he said to my mum, he was like, is she okay? And then I think my mum said, oh my god, like, this gives me chills. I think she said something like, no, but she will be. And I was like, yes, Kirstine, eat that up. And he was like, was it depression? He said something like that. He like alluded to why I was there. And my mum, I think she was like, yes. See, I'm telling you this story, but I can't fully remember it. And he was like, oh, I know what that's like. And my mum was like, okay. And he was like, but she's gonna be okay. And I think he said something about God, but he kept looking at me and he was like, she'll be okay, she'll be okay. Like, he said, girl, that's gonna be okay, her. And I was literally there like fighting death, like, nah. And I was having the craziest dreams. I couldn't tell you what any of them were, probably just dreaming about Nando's, but I was having crazy dreams. And then he said that he knew what it was like, and my mum didn't know if he was alluding to a child, like his own child, or himself. And then as he said that, a guy came out of the toilet and he had like really red marks around his neck. And my mum was like, oh, I think he tried to like take his own life as well. And that's who he was referring to. And then as he walked away, he like looked at my mum and he was like, God bless, like, you'll be okay. And she was like, okay. Dot 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 question mark. And she was telling me in the car, and I was like, fuck's sake, I wish I was awake for that. I was like, I can't believe I missed out on that gaggery. Why was I asleep? Like, well, we know why. But where I was going with this literally like 10 minutes ago was that it's crazy that my health anxiety is so bad when I used to like just avidly be trying to, do that. And I think I've pulled a muscle in my arm, like just between my boob, like the bottom of my armpit, start of my boob, to like the top of my armpit at the back. I feel like I've pulled a muscle or strained a muscle because the other day I was absolutely gagging for a good stretch. I was like, I need to stretch myself right now. Like, I need a stretch. I'm going to feel better. And then I literally flew way too close to the sun because I stretched and I thought I was gonna like pass out because I felt like my body just give up. I was like, no, 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 no. So no, 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 no. Don't even think about it, girl. Like this whole bit of my body now really hurts. Like there's this huge strain on my side. And I laid on my side last night in bed because, oh my God, let me tell you about my hatred of weekends at the moment. But let me finish one story first because it's like one story after another. That's my film. One battle after another, one story after another. I'm like stretching. Yeah, I hurt my side. And so I lay down in bed and I was like, this is so painful. And so I was like, okay, like it's my time. Ciao. And my mum was like, don't be so ridiculous. She was like, it's just because like you've strained a muscle, because at work with my dad I pick up these pipes, these heavy pipes, and they normally have water in them, so they are so fucking heavy, and I'm putting them back on the lorry, and my mum was like, you've definitely just strained from that. Like I used to do it because she worked with my dad just after he'd broken his ankle when he was hashtag fixed and hashtag healed. Anyway, is he healed? Oh, I don't think so. But like that, I mean that emotionally. Like I think his ankle's fine, but every single day he's like, my bad ankle, my bad ankle. I'm like, when will it end, bro? Like we get it. We get it. You broke your ankle. Change the record. Anyway, and so I was like, oh my God, like this is the end. Then today, I'm like I'm like poking and prodding my side and wondering why it still hurts. And then I'm like, wait, my boob hurts. Oh, so I'm like avidly checking my boobs. And like, how many times can you check your boobs in like an hour without just seeming like a perverse pedo? Like I'm just feeling myself up. Like I just did it then. Sorry, don't get excited. But like and I used to, when I was with my ex-boyfriend, every so often I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna let you touch my boobs. Lucky you. Because I was just terrified of sex. Anyway, that's literally not what I'm talking about right now. But I'd be like, can you please feel my boobs and tell me if you feel anything? And he was like, I don't feel anything. And I was like, well, oh, I need a mammogram. I need a mammogram. I need something. Like I need like concrete evidence that I'm fine. And so I went to the doctors and they were like, you're fine. And I need to remember what that absolute awesome doctor said to me, because he was joking around with me. And he just, oh my God, I can't even remember exactly what he said now, but he said so many things to me and I just loved him. And he said something like, breast pain on its own is never normally a bad sign. He was like, it's almost always hormonal or like muscle strain. And I'm in my luteal phase and like I have PMDD. So obviously my period is so unbelievably bad as it is. And the way it makes me feel, the way you make me feel, you really make me sad. You know what I mean? Oh my God. Did I just do something? But you know, I try and remember that in dark times like these where I'm just convinced there's something wrong with me. Oh my God, something that's on the top of on the forefront of my brain, of my mind, the tip of my tongue. Will Arnett, okay, so I love Will Arnett, like a lot. I love him. I loved him in Arrested Development. I thought he was great in Is This Thing On? I think he's really funny. And more so, I think he's really leng. But then I found out that he told Ramesh Ranganathan that he thinks that people with loads of tattoos are hiding a boring personality. Sorry, what? Sorry, what? Me! A boring personality, me! Oh, my phone just fell on the floor. Sorry. Me, a boring personality. Fat fucking chance, Will Arnett. Come here. Come into my room in my family home, into my grimace chair and say that to my face. A boring personality. No, it's called not knowing when to say no. It's called having spending problems. It's called being fun. Okay? It's called not thinking about future prospects and jobs and becoming an actor. Because sometimes I'm like, damn, I want to act so bad. Like, I would love to just be in like a TV show, but like I don't want to just be in like a TV show. I want it to like win like Emmys every year. I want it to be like the TV show that every other TV show fears, because they're like, oh, they're gonna sweep, like Succession was. But I've never seen Succession because I watched one episode and I literally think I had like an hour long like silent panic attack after. Like no one knew I was having the panic attack, but it was most definitely happening. I knew. I knew. So don't tell me boring personality. Don't tell someone with 3 tramp stamps boring personality. You actually got done by a woman with tattoos. Like, this is what I'm thinking. Like, people that have something against tattoos, like, you have met a woman or a man who was evil and they had tattoos, but do not put that on the rest of the community. Like, what do you mean? Boring personality. Like, I would not know a boring personality if it smacked me in the face. But I've met people with boring personalities. Like, please stop eating lean mints and telling me about it. Do not tell me that you have to eat lean mints, okay? I really want to lose a bit of back fat, okay, because I think I've realized that when I put on weight, all of it goes to my back. So I'm going to start doing a little bit of cardio, get in the gym, work on my fitness. Thank you very much to my brother who's letting me use his gym that he privately owns. Joking. He's 27 and still lives at home. We know ball. We know ball, okay? The renting market? No. I'm renting from Mama So Stitches and Steve Poogan for £100 a month. Thank you very much. But I really want to lose a bit of back fat. And I'm hearing this word calorie deficit. Calorie deficit. Does this dick fit in your mouth? Sorry. But like, does it? Does it? Because there's no way. There's no calorie deficit. Where does my pickled onion monster munch that I'm eating religiously at the moment, where does that fit in a calorie deficit? It doesn't fit. So it's not happening. Like, I'm drinking water, okay? Right, so I've got my Awala here. Okay. Someone asked me if this... Where the hell is it? Oh, it's down here, lol. Just feeling the air. Here she is. Someone asked me if it was an air up. Don't ever say that again. But today, this morning, I was getting ready. It was 9:45 and I got a fucking Dr. Pepper out of my mini fridge. And I thought to myself, you gluttonous slut. Put it back. Put it back. I didn't. It's still out there. But there's about fucking 30 more in there. So one will be cold when I do go to reach for it. But I thought, drink some water, you pig. Drink some water, you fat fucking pig. Anyway, calorie deficit, not happening. Not happening because I'm not going to start counting my calories. Like, there's just no way. And I am such an avid believer that, like, just eat whatever you want. Because guess what? It could be your last day. Live every day like it's your last. Psych. I'm not saying that. But, like, just enjoy it. Like, oh my God, people are like, oh, I would have the cake, but I'm being good. Being good is donating to charity and having empathy. Just enjoying yourself and letting yourself eat. That's... Go, like, middle-aged mums, oh, I would have the cake, but I'm being good. When I used to work at a cafe, I was like, just eat it. Like, okay, if you're trying to save money, fairs, like, don't buy the £4 slice of lemon cake. But if you're doing that because your piece of shit husband is making you feel fat, well, guess what? He's a piece of shit. Eat the fucking cake. Who said it? Have your cake and eat it too. No, let them eat cake. She wasn't good though, was she? But I'm saying it and I'm good. Let them eat cake, bro. Let them eat cake. This is to all them deadbeat husbands. Oh, yeah. People that are posting their shit boyfriends online and their shit husbands. Like this man that made a Tinder because he said he felt so disgusted by his wife during labour. And she sat there arguing with him. Girl, go to prison. Because it'll be so worth it to literally murder him. That's what I'd do. Hello? I have it about. I have my wits about me. Oh my God, the way I am gagging to get into a physical fight at the moment, like gagging, but I don't want to get into a physical fight with a woman. But then I'm like, oh, people were like, oh, you know, I can't punch a woman. Yeah, my ex-boyfriend did it, so I think you can. And like, I just want someone to get me riled up and then I just hit them. Like, maybe a little tussle. Like, you could like push me about, but you no more than that. And someone the other day was like, you could not punch someone, like you couldn't beat someone in a fight. And I was thinking, yeah, you see these spaghetti arms covered in tattoos because I've got a boring personality apparently, fat chance. But I actually think with the amount of rage that I muster up when I'm angry, I do think I could take someone out like Thor's hammer. Like I do genuinely believe that, and that's just my own belief. Like I was watching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood the other day, and oh my God, I actually have no words because of how Brad Pitt looks in that film. And like everything I've ever read or seen about Brad Pitt has never, ever, ever been good. And then he looks like a certified Langer at mid-50s. Like, why? I think that's actually before all of his plastic surgery as well. Because you know how actors take like a year off and then they come back and they're like, they literally can't move their face. And I'm like, bro, you're an actor. Like, you're supposed to act. And you'll be able to move your face. Like, I am so anti-Botox. It's crazy. Like, I'm not going to judge someone for getting it. But, like, when I hear 18-year-old girls be like, oh, I want to get Botox. I'm like, oh, my God. You should try this thing. It's called living. Just live. Like, just stop. Spend that money on anything else. Anything else. Like, do not piss me off. But in that film, oh my fuck, he looks so good. Margaret Qualley looks so good. Like, oh, you're laying. Like, the scenes where he's in the car, I'm like, fuck off. But then I remember, like, all the baddies he's fumbled, like Angelina Jolie and Jennifer Aniston. Like, those are generational baddies. Like, yikes. And now he's with someone 30 years younger than him. And I'm like, oh, I do forget that men are just the same. And by the same, I mean awful. But I can't believe, this is, like, a different topic completely, but I cannot believe that he won his Oscar for that, of all things. Like, he was so good in Seven. That was such a good film. But he won his Oscar in 2020 for Best Supporting Actor for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And he was great in that film, don't get me wrong. Like, I thought he was funny, and, like, he had great, like, comedic, like, timing and whatnot. And, like, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio was good in that film as well. Like, I didn't really know much about the Oscars until, like, maybe last year, because I was never really into films until last year. Like, no, the year before, but I never really, like, looked into, like, awards. And now I've looked into them, I'm like, damn, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, like, got a lot of nominations. And, like, to be fair, it is a good film. It's the kind of film where nothing really happens, but, like, I like a film like that because it's kind of just there for the vibe. And it's really pretty to look at. It's got a good soundtrack. Leonardo DiCaprio is constantly crying in that film. Like, constantly. I'm like, bro, dry your tears. Like, save it. It's crazy. But that was a good film. I don't know if it's my favourite of Tarantino's films. I hate Quentin Tarantino. I think he's a fucking freak. Zionist freak. But Inglourious Bastards was really good. And I saw Kill Bill. I've seen Pulp Fiction, obviously, because I went to university and I was surrounded by people that had that poster on their wall. And I did actually like that film. I really like Uma Thurman. And, like, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the cast is stacked. Like, Austin Butler, Mikey Madison, Sydney Sweeney, Margaret Qualley, Lena Dunham, Dakota Fanning, obviously Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, Margot Robbie. I think that's my favourite film Margot Robbie's done from the ones I've seen, because she was so cute in that film. And I was like, damn, it would have been so nice if Sharon Tate didn't get murdered. Am I right or am I right? Anyway. The Oscars this year is making me feel a little bit nauseous, because I feel like I know that Timothée Chalamet is going to win for Marty Supreme, and I really wasn't a fan of that film, mainly because I just feel like, I don't know, I also just feel like I was so put off by all of the marketing for it, because he just comes across like a massive twat, and I love Timothée Chalamet as an actor. I think he is one of my favorite actors of all time. He's so fantastic. He's such a good performer. Like, Call Me by Your Name is obviously in my top 4, but if he wins that Oscar, for my mental well-being, for my mental state, and for the goodness of everyone around me, I will be gaslighting myself into thinking he won it for Call Me by Your Name and not Marty Supreme, because he was robbed that year. And I'll say it again, he was robbed that year. I do think Gary Oldman winning for The Darkest Hour, oh my god, I don't give a fuck about Churchill. I don't care, okay? These fucking films about war criminals, I don't care. Like, I literally don't care. Don't get me wrong, like, the transformation was great. Give it to the makeup team and let it be, because that year it was Daniel Day-Lewis up against Timothée Chalamet and fucking Gary Oldman, and then it was also I can't remember the actor's name, but for Get Out. So it was like a pretty stacked category. But Timothée Chalamet in that film, like, I've spoken about this before, I can't quite describe just how the way Call Me by Your Name makes me feel. Like, there's no film that makes me feel the way that does, and by that I mean, like, it rips me and guts me from the inside out. Like, it is so depressing, but in such a beautiful way. And the soundtrack, oh my god, I can't even talk about that film. And I didn't realize they, like, swept the Oscars as well. Like, Luca Guadagnino, he knows what he's doing. He's one of my favorite directors. Holy fuck, I love his films. Like, I loved Queer. I love any form of gay media. Queer, Call Me by Your Name, Heated Rivalry, All of Us Strangers, Pillion. Like, if it's got 2 gay men, I'm gonna be watching. You know that woman, Nikki Glacier, Nikki B. Jerkin? That's me. Because I just love anything about gay men. Anything. Like, I loved Queer, and then it didn't really do very well. It was like, I don't even know why it didn't do well, but it didn't, which is sad. because people, I don't know why, but I thought Daniel Craig was fantastic in that film, and Drew Starkey was great in it as well. And I really loved the look of it and the feel of it. And people were trying to be like, oh, it's bad because like the gay men don't get a happy ending. It's 1950s Mexico. What the fuck did you think was going to happen? It's also based on a novel, so they have to kind of stick to source material. And someone was like, they had Nirvana in it and that's not relevant to the time. You're going to tell me you want to put Drew Starkey on screen and not have Come As You Are playing? It's just not gonna happen. Is that what you want? Because you're not gonna get it. Like, don't even ask me. So I'm nervous for the Oscars this year. I know that Jessie Buckley's gonna win Best Actress. And I'll be happy about that because Hamnet was fantastic. Like, it was literally like Gagathon. Like, it was so good, so sad. My God, that woman can act, and she just seems like the nicest fucking person ever. Anyway, moving on. Next week I have my ADHD screening. I've been on the waiting list a mere 5 years and I finally have it. And I didn't know that premenstrual dysphoric disorder is linked quite heavily to girls with ADHD. Yes, so that makes sense. So I have my screening next week. It's at 8:30 o'clock in the morning. It's so early and it's like a 40-minute drive away. So I'm literally going to leave here at like midnight to hope I get there on time. Should I show up late just to prove to them I do have it? I'm always late anyway. But I have to go to work with my dad after. So I'm going to take a change of clothes because I'm not wearing fucking shit smeared trackies and welly boots. They're going to be like, get out of here, you dirty bitch. Like, there's no way. But I have that next week. So that's quite exciting because obviously if I do like get diagnosed with it, I could hopefully go on medication. But I do get so nervous to go on medication because even though I feed my body with like such shit, like just caffeine and like shit food, I'm very cautious about what medicine I put in my body because I feel like every single time I've taken something like a mood stabilizer or anything hormonal for my period, or like birth control, it just fucks me up so badly. My body is so sensitive to that stuff and it's just like, I'm so scared to do that. I'm trying so hard while I speak to keep a note of everything that I've wanted to say, but it's so difficult to unjumble my brain. Like, I just feel like, you know, when you like just scribble loads and loads and loads on a piece of paper and it's just like swells and swells and swells and swells. That's how my brain feels almost 100% of the time. And it's nasty. It's nasty. I hate it. And you know what's fucked as well is every time I wake up and I'm like, oh, I want to film a podcast, because this weekend I've been so productive. I edited my vlog yesterday, I finished a book, went for a walk. Today I'm doing my podcast, and then after this we're going to this golden retriever brunch. Hello, it's at Slug and Lettuce near where I live, so we're gonna get lit. I'm gonna get Mash a porn star martini tree. I'm gonna get Mash so fucking drunk. Just thinking about it, that's so funny. Oh God, I'm literally sat in a room on my own laughing. Yes, these are the times. But I'm going. That's so funny. Sorry. He'd be crunk. Like, my boy could barely walk in a straight line as it is. We're going to that, which is quite exciting. And then I have like loads of free time in the afternoon, and then this evening I'm going to see If I Had Legs I'd Kick You, which I'm really excited about because I love Rose Byrne. Is that how you say it? Rose Byrne. Right, you know who I mean. The absolute lethal baddie who was robbed of an Oscar for her performance in Bridesmaids, as was Kristen Wiig. Kirsten Wiig? Fucking hell, I don't know anything. I'm really bad at pronouncing literally any word ever, but I'm really excited for that film because I'm ASAP Rocky's in it and I'm a big lover of him and his face. I just think he is an absolute, again, generational lenger. Him and Rihanna come together. I'm surprised the world didn't just stop when that happened, like when they first had a baby, because that is like two lethal face cards, and they've just had a daughter, thank God, because I know that Rihanna had 2 boys and she was like, oh, I always saw myself as a girl mum, but now like I'm definitely a boy mum. And then she had a little girl and I was like, thank God, Thank God, because with a face card like that baby is going to be a beautiful. But I woke up this morning and I was like, okay, I'm going to film a podcast today because I want to get one filmed ready for next week. Yes, so productive. I was so looking forward to it. When I know I'm going to film a podcast, I listen to a podcast beforehand to try and get me like in her mood. And then I put my makeup on and I did my hair and I thought, you are ugly. You are fucking disgusting to look at, you ugly bitch. You are so ugly. And that just ruins it all. I'm telling you now, I could be in the most crazy podcast mood. I could be like, yes, podcast, wow. Then I actually get ready and I look ugly and it just ruins it. So I can't even tell you. I've got contacts in. But I couldn't tell you how I look. And I don't think I want to know. And then I'll edit it back and I'm like, oh my God, you make me feel sick. You repulse me. You make me feel ill. And that's just the sort of relationship I have with myself. I've been picking my skin like there is absolutely no tomorrow at the moment. And if it's not on my face, it's on my chest, which I haven't been doing for a while. When me and my ex-boyfriend broke up, I stopped picking my skin completely because I think I was like, oh, I'm not so stressed. And now I'm just a bit sad. Like, especially but like if I have a spot, I'm going to pick it no matter who I'm with. If I'm single, if I'm alone, that's the same thing. If I'm jerking, if I'm with someone, like no matter what, like I'm gonna pick my skin. But I stopped doing it for a while and my skin got really good, and then it's like I know perfectly how to ruin a good thing. Like it's kind of something I'm quite good at. So I was like, hello. So I was like, oh, my skin looks absolutely atrocious at the moment. And it makes me so insecure because I hate how I look without makeup on. And that is something that I'm really trying to heal within myself. Because I always think, like, if a man met me, I'm like, oh, if a man met me, he'd hate me because I'm just too opinionated, too outspoken, and too loud. But, like, I can deal with that because I think I'm perfect in every way. But then I'm like, if a man saw me without makeup on, he would think I'm so ugly. And then I'm like, wait, why the fuck do I care? I wrote down, a man... I can't imagine a man wanting to be around me long enough to find out if I'm like a shot of espresso, but the same applies the other way around too. Like, I can't imagine a man being like, let me find out if this girl's a shot of espresso. I'm a shot of espresso in the way that I don't shut up after you've taken me. Like, I don't drink coffee for this reason. Like, obviously I inhale, like I consume a lot of caffeine as it is, but never from an espresso. Like, I'm never drinking a coffee. I don't like the taste of coffee. Every time I ever have drank coffee, it's been sweetened to shit, normally with sugar and like vanilla syrup, because I used to drink a coffee before I went to work in like 2022, but that was because I was so anxious about the man that I was seeing at my job, because he was an absolute piece of shit. And then I would get to work and I would have a large latte from Costa with one shot of espresso and loads of vanilla. And even that, I was like, yeah, I'm going to shit myself. Yes, I'm going to shit myself in the disabled toilet because that was the only one that was open. Like, imagine that being your life for a whole summer. Don't get me wrong, it was lit. It was such a good summer. Summer 2022, awesome. But just, no. No. Also, I had an eye test the other day. I've spoken about this on my vlog, but I had an eye test because I convinced myself I had glaucoma, which is basically where you slowly go blind. Fun fact, I didn't have glaucoma. My eyes are actually perfectly healthy, but they're just very dry. And now I have new glasses because my prescriptions got worse. Well, yes. But the new glasses have been giving me a headache, obviously, because they're stronger. And I've been looking around and I'm like, damn, my vision is so bad, because the minute I take them off, I'm like, oh, everything's pixelated. Like, everything is not awesome. Like, this is crazy how bad my eyesight is. And then when I wear contacts, I'm like, this is great, but they make my eyes kind of blue, and I have my beautiful green eyes that I would love everyone to be able to see, apart from the fact that someone tried to tell me once that my eyes weren't green, and I was like, that isn't gonna work on me. Like, you can gaslight me in every other way possible, but you are not telling me my eyes aren't green. My eyes are green. So get that in your fat fucking head. Anyway, I just keep thinking about my cousin telling me, we were talking about my my health anxiety and being a hypochondriac, and I was sorting out my room and I found like loads of different like multivitamins and tablets from when all the different times that I've convinced I've had something wrong. And like when I thought that carpal tunnel was killing me, and someone commented like, you know, your health anxiety is bad because why did you just say that you thought carpal tunnel was going to kill you? And I was like, oh, I have loads wrong with me. And Tilly said to me, she was like, did you have the condition when you took that? Or did you think you did? And I was like, oh, you just got me good. Like, you got me real good there. And she was 100% right. She was 1,000% right, actually, I'd say. Because what the hell am I doing? What the hell am I doing? Speaking of what the hell am I doing, it's been 6 weeks since me and my ex-boyfriend broke up, and sometimes I'm really conscious about how much I talk about my breakup, but then I'm like, oh wait, it's literally my breakup. I can talk about it as much as I want, and also it was literally 3 years of my life, and now that's like done. Like it's been so interesting, and I was speaking to my cousin yesterday because basically I made a video yesterday. Literally, I just like put my phone and I was like just doing my own thing and like looking around, and I said, "Oh my god, hello, what was that?" I said in the video, like, I get so sad on weekends. During the week, so like Monday to Friday, normally, like give or take a day or two, I work with my dad in the lorry, and it's so easy. Like, we go job to job and we empty people's tanks full of shit, and then while we're in the lorry and driving from place to place, I read. That's all I do, okay? And I go on my phone as well. I need to get that screen time down. God damn. But I read, and I've been reading so much since the beginning of the year. Just finished my 14th book of the year, which is amazing because I only read 16 last year. So I'm well on track to doing my 40 book goal. There's my foot, sorry. I didn't put socks on and now I feel a little bit rude. Anyway, so I'm in the lorry, I'm doing stuff like I'm talking to my dad and whatever, and then in the evenings I always seem to have a plan. Like, it's either cinema, seeing a friend, seeing my cousin, because my cousin literally lives across the road, which is like a saving grace for me at any time, but especially during this breakup, like having her so nearby, because like, oh my god, I tell her everything. Like, it's so, because like I've said, she was in my last podcast episode, and a lot of people, we went live after that, and a lot of people asked if we were sisters because people said we looked really similar or we have really similar mannerisms, and obviously we are cousins, but are y'all twins? No, we're cousins. Like, so having her across the room has been like saving grace while I'm in this breakup. And so yesterday I was like, oh, do you want to go for a walk? And she was like, yeah, sure. We went for a walk, and I was telling her that I'm really sad on the weekends, and she was like, but like, why do you think that is? And I was like, I guess because like it feels like I have more time to fill, and even when I'm like super productive, like yesterday I woke up, they were doing electrical work at my house, so I went to the library, I edited all of my vlog, I started reading a book, and then I finished my book as well. I went for my walk, I had a bath, I watched a true crime video from Bella Fiore, my favorite true crime YouTuber, and she's stunning. She's absolutely gorgeous. But you know, I did all this stuff, and yet I still felt so lonely and so sad. And yeah, I made this video being like, I get so sad on the weekends, and so many girls also commented on it being like, oh, me too. And obviously, like, I don't want anyone to feel sad or whatever, but it's nice to know that you're not alone, you know? That, like, it is nice. I'm sorry, I don't want anyone to feel sad, but like, it's comforting knowing that you're not completely alone in like the way you feel. And I don't really know where it's come from. I guess because like on the weekend normally, like, even though I wasn't always around him because he lived in Brighton and I live here, I was always talking to him pretty much throughout the day unless we were having an argument. So like 50% of the time I was always talking to him, and like I had someone to share everything with, and now I'm like, oh, I don't have that. Like, my life feels so different. And it doesn't feel empty. Like, it's not as if like I'm like, oh, I'm so sad and I need to be in a relationship, because if anything, I've realized that like that is obviously the opposite of what I want at the moment, and I've made that quite clear. And I deleted Hinge and Tinder this morning because I've realized that I was giving like men on dating apps way too much power over like how I see myself and how I feel towards myself, because I I was just like not relying on compliments, because I wouldn't say I was relying on compliments. I just think I was like holding their opinion of me way too high, and like obviously that manifests itself into like hating how I look without makeup on, and like wanting to lose weight, and like I want to do that stuff for myself. I want to feel good and healthy and like happy with myself and my body, and I don't need someone else's validation to do that. But I was saying to my cousin, like every single day, like almost every single day, I will have multiple women online compliment me about something. They liked my vlog. They thought I'm pretty. They think I'm kind. They think I'm like a good person. Like all these different things, right? And those compliments mean so much to me. Obviously, they would mean a lot to anyone, being complimented by people that don't know you, that think you're a good person, they think you're beautiful, they think you're kind, they think you're this, they think you're that. And so a woman's compliment should hold more power to me and mean more to me than a man's compliment. But obviously, when a man compliments you, it's always about something physical. It's about something like that your body has, or like the way you look, or the way they think that you'd feel, all that fucking disgusting shit. And so I said to my cousin, I was like, I don't think I even realize that it's happening, but I feel like I'm centering men and what they think of me, and I don't like it. It makes me feel bad about myself. It makes me feel as if like a bit hollow, and that I always feel like I need to be talking to someone or flirting with someone or speaking to someone in that sort of way. And in reality, that's not what I want. I don't want that. I just, I cancelled going on that date because I was like, oh, I'm not ready to meet someone. And that's the truth. And even in like a sexual sense, even if I just wanted to go out and meet someone and sleep with them, I don't want to like give them the power of being like having control over me or control over how I see myself. Like, it just doesn't, it makes me uncomfortable. It makes me feel really bad. It makes me feel like terrible about myself. And decentering men is like my biggest priority now. Decentering men and like self improvements to myself. So like, obviously, like I said, like drinking more water, even though I'm drinking it more than I ever used to because of my beautiful Awala, but like drinking more water, fueling my body, going out, getting my like exercise in, and just prioritizing being on my own, because I know what it's like to be on my own and I enjoy being on my own. And this is not a thing of like, oh, I feel like I need someone around me and I need to be in a relationship, because that's not what I want. Even if I met someone on a dating app and I thought they were really funny and I got on with them, I'm like, I feel a bit guilty because I'm like, I don't know what you're after and I don't want to lead you on because I don't want anything. Like, I think about my solo holiday and I'm like, I want to go crazy. I want to go balls to the walls. I want to go to Australia. I want to go traveling. I want to move. We've booked to go back to Glasgow, me and Sophie, to go and see James again in less than a month. We're going in the middle of March. So if any of my Scottish baddies are there, I'm going to be in Glasgow on St. Patrick's Day. Yeah! I'm so excited. And so I'd love to move to Glasgow. I'd love it. Even if it was for only like half a year, I'd love to move, or a year. I'd love it so much. And like, that's my priority, is like finding out what I want to do and just following that plan and just staying true to myself, being who I want to be, advocating and speaking about the things that I believe in. And none of that aligns with being around a man. So like my whole thing is like, these dating apps were just absolutely just ruining me, like making me feel like shit. And like, I'd start speaking to a man and then they would seem really interested. Like, I started speaking to this guy, we're speaking about films, and I'm like, okay, this is great. He's being so complimentary, and he's like, you've got great taste in films, acting as if like there was like a chance we were gonna meet up. And I was like, okay, this could be fun. Then just airs me, like didn't speak to it. Like, it's been like almost 2 days and he's calling me my love, and I'm thinking, I'm not your love. I'm not even your like. I'm your hate. I'm your op. Because what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, I don't get men that do this. Also, a man messaged me and he was like, do you want to know something kinky? I was like, yeah, go on then. I fancy a laugh. I slept with my stepsister 3 weeks ago. Ew. Ew. I said to him, cool, is your life just one big porno? He went, have you never done anything kinky? I said, no, I haven't slept with my brother. Last time I checked. You fucking freak. That's not kinky. You're just perverse and you need help. Seek medical attention, okay? Because that's not my problem. I said, I'm going to block you. Any man that asks for my Snapchat, how old are you? I didn't realise that I was fucking around with a 12-year-old boy. Thank you for letting me know. I'll keep that in mind next time. What do you mean, I want your Snapchat? I want you to act your age, boy. I want you to act your fucking age. You're telling me there's a 2 and then next to the 2 there's a 5. 25, and you're asking for a Snapchat name. And boys will be like, what's your Instagram? I'm like, no, you are not getting the fucking keys to that city. Like, you are not getting the keys to Gagatron Central. Like, there's no way. You're not getting on that train. Already left the station, mate. Like, there's no... I was like, you can have my number. And then the minute they piss me off, I block their number. I'm like, hell nah. Even my number, I'm like anxious to give. So I'm like, the best way to not have to give out your number or your Snapchat or your Instagram is just by not speaking to them at all. And also, like, it was becoming like not even an obsession, but like a compulsion to be like, let me check if anyone's messaged me, let me check if anyone's liked me. And then you get absolutely humbled by the men that do like you, and you think, wow, I am chopped liver. Cool. Cool. Yeah, like, this is awesome. This is so great. This is great for my self-esteem. No. It's not happening. And so, like, I also think about how, like, the reaction I have to a woman's compliment versus a man's compliment. Like, when a man compliments me, I'm like, oh, thank you. I also never believe it, because I'm like, oh, you say that to every woman that you ever speak to. When a woman compliments me, more often than not, it will make me emotional, no matter where I am in my cycle. Okay, just keep that in mind. If a girl compliments me, like any of my girls complimenting me online, I just like, I get so emotional. Like, there was one the other day, like, I was speaking to my friend, and I was speaking to my friend, and she was saying to me, I haven't seen her in years. She said to me, she was like, oh, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want it to seem mean, but she was like, your content at the moment, like, it's so good. And she was like, obviously because of the circumstances, I was like reluctant to say anything, and I was like, no, I really appreciate that. And she said something like, I just think you're so wonderful. And I was like, oh my god, I'm about to sob. This place is about to blow. I was like, wow, that is such an insanely nice compliment. Like, it's just so kind. And like, I just, women just know how to compliment from the heart, and they compliment on so much more than just like physical being and like your physicality. And it means so much to me, because obviously every girl that you speak to, especially after a breakup, they're like, you're glowing, you seem so much happier, you're radiating, you're like, you're this, you're that. A man will be like, oh, you're so fucking sexy, and I'm like, get the fuck away from me, get away, get away, get away. I don't like that, leave me alone. And like, yesterday, this is something that's super nice, and it made me again emotional. Oh, someone's just commented, girl, you're glowing. I told you. And someone's just said that they've read this book that I got from the library yesterday, and they loved it. Oh, this is amazing. So someone tagged me in a post, and it said, as someone who loves podcasts and listens to them for most of the day, here are my ultimate favorite podcasts ever. And guess what, bitch, I'm in there. I feel so I feel so emotional. She said, where am I? Here I am. She put, one of my favourite YouTubers and so underrated. I feel like she just speaks my exact thoughts. Actually relatable as well, which is so refreshing. 10 out of 10. Thank you for your service. Oh my days. And then I commented on it. I put, OMG, thank you so much. And she put, if Rough as Rats has no fans and I have died, thank you for being you, diva. I thought, oh my god, I'm emotional. I'm literally emotional. Like, this, just, girls just get it. And I just want to be around as many women as physically possible. Me searching for the WLWs tag on any hot woman's video, I'm like, walla where? Hello, rock paper what? Oh. Also, my gaydar is so off at the moment. This is just like a little sidetrack, but like, my gaydar is so off. I saw this guy on TikTok talking about like how people from his hometown was like saving his videos, and he was Irish, and I was like, oh, well yes. I was like, okay, like whatever. And then I start looking through his TikToks, and I'm like, oh, I think he might be gay. Like, not in like a, like, obviously being gay is never a diss, but you know when you're like, oh, I think they're gay, and someone's like, you can't say that. What do you mean? I would rather be known as gay than straight. Anyway, like, me finding out that someone the other day found out about my breakup and said, oh my god, Maisie's straight, and I said, don't ever say that fucking word around me again. No. But I was like, oh, I think he's gay. So I start looking through his thing, and I'm like, I'm looking for a hashtag. Because he's pretty well groomed. He's quite good looking. He's into films. Like, not that being into films, okay, you know what I mean. Like, do not twist my words right now, please. Anyway, then he comments on one of his videos, missing my wife. And I was like, what? Like, how do I keep getting this so wrong? And like, my gaydar is off. Like, it's renowned to be off. And I don't know why. And it really upsets me, because I think I need to be around more gay people. Maybe that's something I need to aim for, because this won't do. Like, this simply will not do. I need my gaydar to be better. It's a simple matter of fact. Also unrelated, but I've like borrowed so many books from the library at the moment. I think I have like 14 books. Girl, how the fuck you getting through all of them? I'm gonna. One of which is Katie Price's This Is Me, her memoir, biography. What's it called? I don't really know. But I'm going to read that next. I'm gagging to read that actually because I think people are so mean to her for no real reason. And the reason she is the way she is because it's what the media have made her into. And people are just nasty. Nasty fucking boots, and I just think it's so unnecessary. Also, like reading so much at the moment, I'm like, oh, my book is on its way. Like, I'm gonna start writing my book soon, but I also need to work out what the fuck I want to write about because I have a few ideas. Like, I want to write about sisters, but I don't have a sister, so it's kind of like, oh, could I realistically write about that? Probably. Like, it's just making stuff up, isn't it? But also, I'd love to write about mothers and daughters. And I also would like to write a memoir because I feel like a lot has happened, but I also cannot access half of my memories. So, there's that. Which. Is that concerning? Maybe. Maybe. I don't really know, though. I don't really know. I've been watching a lot of Sex and the City recently. Fuck me, that is just such a good show. If you are going through a breakup, then honestly, Sex and the City is where it's at. Even if you're not going through a breakup, I just think anyone should watch it, especially any woman, because it just really gives you this sense of self and like just how important your relationship is with other women. Also, it just makes me want to move to New York, but the idea of stepping foot in America at the moment actually makes me feel like physically sick, like physically sick. I had a dream last night that I met Zach Polanski, and oh my god, when is that dream gonna come true? I might actually just DM him and be like, "Do you want to come on the pod? You can sit on my bed that I sleep in." Who would turn down that offer? No one in their right mind. I literally sobbed about Zach Polanski last night being at Heaven because there's that picture of him on stage talking to a crowd, and there's this person in the front row just sobbing, and I was like, "Oh, that's me." It's not actually me, but that's how I'd feel as well. Like, they get it. They get it. I had a sex dream the other night about a boy that I kissed when I was in year 10. And I was speaking to my friend about it because she was there when we kissed because we were on the train. We were on the last train home. I literally was telling my cousin about this yesterday. I do not know how my parents let me do this because I went to London on a Friday night with a bunch of people from a different school that I only knew one of them. And there was like 7 of us going, and we got the last train home. I don't know how I convinced my parents. Like, they are so good. I love my parents, but like, how did they let me go? Anyway. And I had a sex dream that I slept with the guy that I got off with, and I think he was like my second kiss ever. And he was kind of renowned for being this fuckboy, and everyone knew him, and everyone had a crush on him. And I was like, oh my god, he like texted me asking me to go to London to this like basement like art show at the Tate Modern, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so edgy, I'm not like other girls. And then he ignored me the whole night because there was other girls there that this guy met from Yellow, if anyone remembers that app. It was like before Bumble, whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, like I don't know anyone here, and now like no one's talking to me. And then I met my friend Sophie that night, and oh my god, god bless, because she was really there for me the entire time, and we're still friends now. And she knew how awful they were, and it turns out that before we went on like this night out, he told the boys that were going, because there was only literally only 2 girls, and then these 2 girls that we met from Yellow, he told her that he wanted just a girlfriend for the night, and he knew I really liked him. So men are always like, they are born and they're just awful. Like, they just have awfulness thrust upon them. Like, are people born evil, or is it thrust upon them? Men born evil. Born evil. It's like, there's no question. There's no question. Unless you have a great like community of women around you. Like, my friends just had a baby, she had a baby boy, and I was like, he's gonna grow up to be the best man in the entire world because he's gonna be surrounded by beautiful, powerful, slightly gay women. And I think that's a beautiful thing, actually. But I had a sex dream about this guy, and I told my friend Sophie, and she was like, that is not a dream, that's a nightmare. And I said, literally, like, why are you in my dreams after all this time? And then we got on the train home, the last train home. Okay, this was like a memory for the memory books because it was quite funny. There was a load of people on that train that were really drunk because it was like the last train home from London Waterloo. And I think rugby had been on that day. I'm not really sure. Something had been on, rugby, football, something. And so my friend had a speaker, and they were playing like Wonderwall and Escape, the Pina Colada song. And we were all singing. We got the whole carriage singing. Like, this was a humanity moment for the history books. And then one of the guys that were like stood up with their friends from like the football, their friends were going, take it off, take it off. He took off his shirt. The minute he took it off, oh my god, it's actually like comedy gold. They were like, put it on, put it on. And I was there like laughing my literal flat ass off at the age of 15. And then the guy that had asked me to go with them started getting off with me. And I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. And then he started putting his hands between my legs. And I was like, oh, I'm a virgin. Like, this is terrifying. And then when we got to the station, he was like, why don't you come back to our house with us? Because, like, everyone was going back to one of their houses. And my brother was picking me up from the station. And I was like, no. No, like, there's no way my parents would, like, ride for that. There's absolutely no way. And also, I was like, I'm not losing my virginity in a room of, like, 7 other people with a guy that's, like, been with so many other girls and is just like no, like there's literally no way. It's not happening, not now, not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Like, it's just not gonna, like, no, shit's not gonna fly with me, I'm sorry. And I don't know if that's like a canon event. Like, me and my friend Abby were talking about canon events the other day, and she was like, a canon event is being in a relationship and then thinking you're like asexual because you never want to have sex, and it's actually just because you don't have sex with that person. And I was like, okay, because I just always thought it's because I have such a weird relationship with sex, which is something I need to speak to my therapist about. Thank god I'm seeing her next week. But I'm just, oh my god, it's my ex-boyfriend's birthday today. He will not watch this, thank god, but happy birthday nonetheless. Anyway, it's Alan's birthday next week. We're going clubbing. Oh my god, I'm so nervous. We're going to a gay club. We're going to Heaven in London. So that's exciting. I've not drank in so long, but I'm not gonna drink much because I just know that it will make me so nervous, and I'll probably like shit myself like 5 times. And I kind of want to have my wits about me to get home. Up there for thinking, down there for dancing, which I will be. I'll be busting a move because they play Addison in the club. Yes, I'm so excited. I love good music in a club. Like, I think what puts me off of going clubbing is the music is shit. I had literally forgotten about this pain in my arm until I moved, and then I just felt it twang. Oh my god, I need to go and bury my sorrows in a vat of hummus with some cucumber sticks and some corn, garlic, and herb bites. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I need to do that now because we're leaving to go to this, like, golden retriever party. Whoop, whoop. In, like, 20 minutes. So I'll leave it there. I can't believe that I actually filmed a podcast episode and I didn't hate myself the entire way through it. Oh my god. I'm growing up. I'm changing. Yes, I'm changing. Can't stop it now. If you enjoyed this, then that's grand. That's great news. I was going to say like and subscribe, but I don't want to push you into doing something you don't want to do. But if you do want to do it, well, that would be much appreciated. Thank you for watching or listening or doing both. I will see you maybe next week. I can't ever guarantee you when I'll see you next because the absolute fucking the shift I put in to even film a podcast episode, it takes like a week or two of just gearing myself up to sit down. And I don't know why, because I talk so much, but here we are. Anyway, love you all. Thank you for listening and watching. Speak to you next time when I'm convinced something else is killing me. Awesome. Ciao, Bella. Ciao.